Good evening, folks, and welcome back to some more Rag Plays Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. When last we left off, we were about to leave the apartment complex, but upon further reflection, Telemachus and Karth decided that it was too late in the day to continue their search for Bastila, so they decided to hole up in an apartment that they knew wouldn't have been occupied by the Black Vulkars. And during this time, at least until, a reasonable hour to depart again, and where they're rested up as well as they can be given the situation. I'm sure they'd always be worried about someone coming through that door, which is closed, not open. There's no way to close doors in KotOR once they're open. But they would have a little chat, I think, so we're going to talk to Karthi.
Yes, what's on your mind?
I want to discuss something with you.
You do? Well, fair enough. What do you want to discuss?
I'd like to know if we have a problem.
I knew you wouldn't understand where I was coming from. Let me try and explain. You got the skills of an elite commando, and you saved my butt more than once. Between that and your facility with languages, I'm lucky you're here. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop watching you being wary. I'm just not built that way. Period.
Not built that way. That sounds like an excuse.
Maybe so, but I've been betrayed before by people well, it just won't happen again, that's all.
Of course it won't happen again if you never trust anyone.
Look, I'm not trying to insult you. This is just the way I am. No need to take it personally.
I'm beginning to wonder if you're even capable of trusting anyone.
Well, you can stop wondering. I'm not.
You sure you don't want to talk about it?
No, I don't want to talk about it. What I want is to save the galaxy, if that's even possible. Why is whether or not I trust you or anyone so damned important to you? Why do you even care? We don't have time for this, so can we please just drop it for now? Can we pick it up later if you really must? I want to get underway.
Man, you guys just need to, fuck it out or something. Jeez. Anyway. So that's him done. That's typical Karth in Knights of the Old Republic. Karth has something to talk about. I don't want to talk about it. Karth, what are we going to do with you? Alright, so I guess maybe this little argument will force them out onto the streets now. Like, they really don't want to spend an entire night in the same room together, not talking to each other, the silence being deafening. So I think Telemachus is going to twist Karth's arm and say, we better just get on with the job. We don't have time to be resting anyway. So let's head back into the lower city. Alright, so we've gone down that way. We're going to go this way now. Down the street. That is a health and safety hazard, by the way. Somebody better repair that. And we come to Javyar's Cantina. He'll know because of the sign? Question mark? I guess. Bouncer, what have you to say? Cause any trouble in Javyar's Cantina, you leave your problems and your attitude at the door. You know what? That's fine. We need a drink after that argument. This sure does raise our confidence, bullet holes in the wall. It's always a sign of a good establishment. I mean, lightning can't strike twice. We could have a seat over here. Alright, I'm gonna save the game. And we're gonna talk to Uriah, I suppose. This might be a Bazak episode, guys. Gonna warn you now. Hi there, not too many people come in here to speak to me anymore. Most prefer the fancy surroundings of the Upper City Cantina. But nobody up there carries the kinds of Bazak cards I sell. Are you interested in purchasing some individual cards to bolster your Bazak deck? Who are you? My name is Uriah. I'm the man to see if you want to get an edge over your competitors in the Grand Old Game. You follow me? I'm talking about Bazak. You know, high-stakes gambling. Each player brings their own deck to a Bazak match. The better your cards are, the better your chances of winning. So what do you say? Are you interested in buying some of my Bazak cards to augment your own deck? I want to ask you some questions first, if I could. If you want information, you should speak to Zax in the Bounty office. He's Davik's unofficial earpiece, but I'll try to answer your questions as best I can. What do you know about Davik? I'm not stupid enough to start bad-mouthing Davik Kang in this place. Not with Zax so nearby. Go to the Bounty office and talk to him if you want the scoop on Davik. Gotcha. Well, I was just asking for your general opinions. I wanted to know a little bit about the man, that's all. I'd like some general information on the lower city. Maybe you'd be more inclined to answer that? I know what I can really tell you. There's a gang war between the Hidden Becks and the Black Vulkars, but everyone knows about that. Well, why don't you tell me about the Hidden Becks? We already know quite a bit about the Vulkars, but I'll probably ask anyway. So tell me about them. The Becks are run by a man named Thek. They used to run things here in the lower city, and life wasn't too bad, but now the Vulkars are trying to move in. What about the Black Vulkars? We've faced some of them outside. I don't know what their deal is. They seem to attack us on sight. The Vulkars are led by Brejik. He's tough and ruthless, and maybe even a little insane. He's also determined to take control of the entire lower city away from the Hidden Becks. When the Hidden Becks ran things, people could walk the lower streets in safety, but now the Black Vulkars attack people on sight. Watch out for them. Yeah. We've already dealt with their scum. Might you know anything about those Republic escape pods that crashed down in the Undercity? I'd like to know if there'd be any opportunities to salvage things from them. The Undercity? You don't want to be going down there. The place is crawling with rat ghouls. Do yourself a favor and forget about those escape pods. Besides, there's probably nothing left of those pods anyway. The Hidden Becks and the Black Vulkars would have stripped anything valuable from them within hours of the crash. Thanks for the info. I'll keep that in mind. Show me what you have for sale if you could. I haven't been able to restock my inventory since the Sith quarantine started, but I've got a pretty good selection. Okay. So here's our opportunity to start buying cards that that will help us out, and some of them are a lot more expensive than others. Plus-minus cards are very expensive, and I think there'll be a few that we can buy right now, though, that'll be alright. So to start off, I'm going to buy 2 plus-minus 6s. I will buy... two of these. These are very expensive. However, might be worth doing. We have those already. Plus minus 4s, we're going to get 2 of those. Or rather, minus 4s. And you know what? These are good too. I don't think we have plus 6s yet. So I'll pick up 2 of those. That's cheap enough. And got the -6s, got the -4s. We've got the +/-6s. These -2s, I think I bought some already, didn't I? I'm gonna have to check. So that'll do for now. We'll be able to check with Gelrude here, and he is a Pazak player, so I'm gonna save my game now that I've bought some stuff and overwrite that. We're down on our money a little bit, but we do have that bounty that we can collect from helping Matrix. So, Gelrude.
Greetings, stranger. My name is Gelrude. Are you a Pazak player by chance? It's so hard for me to find
so
a match now
I
that
am.
I've been banned from the Upper City Cantina.
Why were you banned?
A simple misunderstanding. Some of the other Pazak players don't understand the finer points of the game. So what if I win 15 matches in a row? That doesn't mean I cheat.
That means you save
There's no
scum.
justice. My lucky Pazak deck was confiscated and I was banned from the Upper Cantina.
Bummer.
Since then, I've been desperate to find a match.
Take it you ran afoul of Niklos as well. What a poor loser. Can I ask you some questions before we play?
If you want to ask questions, go talk to Zax in the bounty office. He knows everything that's happening on Taurus. I'm just here to play Pazak. So do you want to play or not?
Sure, we'll play.
Excellent. My funds were getting somewhat low.
Let's go ahead and bet 40 credits, I think, is the max we can do. I'm going to start by completely retooling my side deck, because this is not adequate anymore. We're going to start with a +1 and a +5 card. We are going to do a +2 and a -2. We're going to do a +3. We're not going to do a +3. Yes, we are going to do a +3, and we're going to do a +/-3. We're going to do 1 +4 and 1 -4, and then we're going to do 2 +/-6s, and I think that's a pretty decent side deck. So let's go ahead and play, and hopefully this goes well for us. Nice selection of cards. I like having a lot of +/ cards. We'll end our turn. Very good draw as well on the first card. 1. Up to 10. Gelrude's at 13. 15. That's risky, but I'm comfortable with hitting. He's going to stand on an 18. Well, if we have to play a card, we have to play a card here, and it's going to be the -6 to get us to 19, and we're going to stand on it and beat him. I don't like drawing 10s, but at least it's out of the deck. He's going to stand on that 18. Ah ha ha ha! Lady luck is on our side tonight. A 9. Gelrude's up to 12. Now we're up to 10, that's good. 22. Oh! Not even trying! You have defeated your opponent.
You did well in our last match, but I think your luck may be about to run out. So do you want to play again?
In a moment. I'm going to save my game and probably pause the recording until I beat your pants off a bunch of other times. So I will see you back in a moment, folks. I'll be going now.
If you're ever looking for a match and you get tired of posturing in the Upper Cantina, just come down here and find me. I'll play you anytime.
Sweet. So I played Gelrude a number of times here. I've actually got my credits back up to 1011, and it doesn't seem like he has any limit to the amount of times that he played, because I've beaten him at least 5 or 6 times, and I'm pretty sure at least some of the Pazak players in KotOR, they just keep going. So I'm going to assume that he's one of them and carry on. Uh-oh.
Go away.
Hey, you not talk like that. We just want to say hi to Big Bad Bounty Hunter Calo Nord. Nah, this can't be Calo Nord. He's supposed to be tough. This guy's nothing but a runt.
1.
Uh-oh. 1. What that mean? You be funny, tough guy? You know who we are, Calo? We're members of the Black Vulcar gang. You don't want to be getting funny with us, tough guy.
2.
Me no understand. 1, 2. Why he count? He trying to count how many of us are against him? These idiots aren't taking the hit. It's 3 against 1, Calo. What do you think about those odds? Well,
3.
anything more to say? Oh, he's got something to say. Calo?
Go away.
Saw how you mopped up those black Vulcars. Nice work.
1.
Fine, I get it. I'll leave you alone.
Smart.
We'll have to see about him. So we have a fairly empty cantina compared to the upper cities. Got a few citizens kicking around. Let's save our game though. Lower Terrace citizen.
I can't wait for the big swoop race. I hear the Vulcars have a new engine that's gonna break all the records.
Swoop racing, huh? That is interesting. There was swoop racing on Telemachus' home planet, and quite a few hours of his teenage life were spent begging his father to get him a swoop bike so he could participate. It's probably for the best that that didn't work out, but you know that might be interesting because if there's swoop racing, there's probably gambling. If there's gambling, that's a good potential to make a lot of money off of save scumming. We'll have to keep our eye out for that. Let's head into the cantina now. Rather, the band room, I suppose. We've got a couple of black Vulcars sitting here. Well, they're not necessarily black Vulcars, I suppose. They might just be Nikto. This species is from the planet Kintan, I think. And they kind of come in many different shapes and forms. These ones are a particular type. I can't remember the exact species, but like they have 3 or 4 offshoots in the Star Wars lore. Karthi, get out of the way. Thank you. Check out the band. I'm sure you'll notice that they, the Bith musicians all have their instruments this time, which is great. I had to remove that mod, or rather I opted into removing that mod that fixed the typing animations because it came at the expense of the Bith having their instruments and from my weapon seemingly disappearing every time we talk to people. And that's unacceptable. It's like a mod that fixes a problem causes 3 others. It's just not a good mod, so that's gone. And obviously we have some Twi'lek dancers. Hello, ladies. Some nice moves you have there. Right. Fair enough. But he's got to make a living somehow. I suppose as we're leaving, our eye would stray to this nondescript man standing here, and well, Telemachus wouldn't know him by name. We, the player, certainly do. It's Holdan. You recall the guy who Dia cut with a vibroblade for, well, creeping on her, basically. Why don't we have a little chat with him and see what he has to say? Holden?
Huh? What? Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. My attention was kind of focused on the Twi'lek dancers. Look at them waggle those head tails. I don't normally go for these alien girls, but I've had some bad experiences with my own species lately. Maybe it's time for a change. Know what I mean?
I might be picking up what you're putting down. Who are you?
My name's Holden. Maybe you've heard of me. I work for Davik Kang.
Actually, I have heard of you. He's not gonna let on to that. You work for Davik?
I'm one of his top couriers. Davik's always sending me off planet to deliver and bring back packages. He knows he can trust me to follow my orders to the letter. Plus, I used to be an intergalactic customs agent, so I know all the tricks they use to catch smugglers. That gives me the edge I need on my courier runs.
Pretty open about what you do.
It's not like it's some big secret. It's kind of hard for Davik to keep a low profile when he belongs to a big intergalactic crime syndicate like the Exchange.
you think Davik could get me off Terrace?
Davik's ship is the fastest one in the entire quadrant. But even the Ebonhawk can't get off Taurus until the quarantine is lifted. The Sith fleet has the planet surrounded. Any ship leaving orbit without proper access codes will be disintegrated by the Sith auto-targeting laser cannons. And those codes are locked safely away in the military base. Davik's pretty upset about it. His smuggling operation isn't making any money. But even with his underworld connections, he can't get his hands on those codes.
Now that is useful information, something Telemachus did not know about how the Sith blockade was run. That they have auto-targeting cannons that will lock on to ships departing the system unless these codes are transmitted. So he needs to find a way, now in his head, to get into that Sith base and steal the codes at minimum before he can even hope to get off this planet, because even Davik doesn't have a way. Really useful information. He's happy he took the moment instead of jumping right to confronting Holden about Dia, that he took the time to kind of suss him out, you know. So, but now that you mention it, you're the guy who put the bounty on Dia's head, right?
You're here about that? I guess Zax must have mentioned me to you at the bounty office. Fair enough. I don't care who takes her out. Just so long as the job gets done. I can't let her get away with what she did. That wench tried to cut me with her vibro blade.
And why would she do that?
Because she's crazy. She started screaming that I was making advances, and the next thing I know, she's coming at me with a knife.
Yeah, right. Sounds to me like she was defending herself.
I admit I was drunk. Maybe I got a little fresh. But it was no big deal. She didn't have to cut me.
Sounds like you got what you deserved.
Hey, you weren't there. She totally overreacted.
I want the bounty on Dia's head removed.
What? I can't do that. Think how it would look. I work for Davik. I've got a certain reputation to uphold. I can't let her get away with this. There has to be payback. Although, I do feel a little guilty about all this. Dia's a good-looking gal. It'd be a shame to kill her. Tell you what, I'll take 200 credits in exchange for lifting the bounty.
If you hire someone to kill Dia, it would look like you weren't man enough to do it yourself.
Well, I guess you may be right. Besides, I've noticed some of the girls around here are giving me the cold shoulder since all this started. Okay, you win. Dia can live. Don't worry. I'll stick to my end of the bargain. I'll go tell Zax right now that the bounty is off the table.
You better. I'll be watching you. Okay. So, that's Holden taken care of, and also Dia's bounty has been updated. Thanks to your intervention, Holden has withdrawn the bounty from Dia's head. Now the only thing left to do is to tell Dia herself the good news. Yeah, and that's for the best anyway. Telemachus certainly wasn't going to pay to have a bounty removed that shouldn't have been there in the first place. Holden was either going to do that, or he would have been a dead man. And I suppose, maybe knowing our reputation in the dueling ring, he didn't want to take the chance. What other sort of quests do we have? We have Largo's bounty, which we haven't done anything to fix yet. We'll see about that. Matrix bounty, we can actually... Matrix apartment is nothing but a pile of rubble, and Matrix himself has vanished into the wind. If the plan works and people really do believe Matrix is dead, then you can probably still collect his bounty from Zax. Karth, despite being impressed with your abilities, Karth is still not willing to fully open up to you. Maybe if you give him some time, he'll finally learn to trust you. Yeah, we'll see about that. Rakghoul Serum, of course. The duel ring, and generic information on Terrace. Anyway, all's well that ends well with that. Uh-oh.
I told you to leave me alone. So give me some space, Bug-Eye. Your breath smells like Bantha Poodoo.
Sick burn. Little girl should not be in bar. This is no place for little girl. If little girl smart, she run away home now.
Who you calling little girl, Chuba Face?
Little girl needs lesson in manners.
Just a sec, boys. Zalbar, a little help here? I need you to rip the legs off some insects.
It's racist. Mission, I'm busy. They just brought my food.
Quit complaining. You can finish eating later. Besides, you need the exercise, so get over here.
We don't want trouble with Wookie. Our problem with you, little girl.
You got a problem with me? Then you got a problem with Big Z. So unless you want to take on my furry friend, I suggest you greenies hop on out of here.
Little girl lucky she has big friend. Impressive. Most impressive. So, spoiler alert, in case you've been living under a rock for the past, what's it been, 14 years, and haven't played this game, Mission and Zalbar are going to be two of our future companions, and in this particular LP, I've elected to give them each some improved looking skins. Mission has her face redone as well as a new pair of shorts. And I think the head model was by Darth Jaden, I want to say, the modder. I got that mod a long time ago, I don't remember. She's got little tattoos on her eyes and her eye color has changed. Zalbar has a complete overhaul. I think it's on Deadly Stream. I think it's about the only Zalbar skin there is, and it's really, really well done. Much better than the default. And I like him. I like them both. Let's go have a chat with them. Zalbar? Why are you bothering me?
Hey, relax, Big Z. No need to be rude. Sorry about that. But Wookiees ain't much for conversation, you know?
Yeah, no worries. Let's talk to Mission instead. She seems much more amicable.
Say, I don't recognize you, and I know pretty much everyone in the lower city. You must be new down here.
Yep.
I guess that makes me and Big Z your official welcoming committee.
Well, thank you kindly. Certainly better than most of the welcomes we've had since we've been here. That's weird, though. Twi'lek who speaks Galactic Basic? Haven't seen one in all of Terrace.
It's not that strange. Most aliens can speak Basic, they just prefer to use their own language. But I grew up here on Terrace, so I just sort of got used to speaking the native tongue.
You showed a lot of guts dealing with those Vulkars, kid. You got a name?
My name's Mission Veo, and this big Wookiee is my best friend Zalbar. I'd offer to give you a tour, but the streets down here aren't safe. But if there's anything else you need...
So we've noticed we've been pretty much attacked on every corner since we've gotten here. How do a Wookiee and a Twi'lek street urchin end up as best friends, though? You two seem like quite an unlikely duo.
We just kind of fell in together. It ain't easy on your own here in the lower city. Everyone's always looking to push you around.
So we noticed. Still, you seem like an odd pair.
When I met up with Zalbar, it seemed like a pretty good match. I knew we could look out for each other. With my street smarts and his muscle, we make a great team.
You can see that. Before we go, would you mind answering some of our questions since we are new here? Not many people who seem very hospitable and open to, I don't know, divulging information, we'll say.
Well, you came to the right person. If you want info on Lower Terrace, I'm the one to talk to. Davik, the Lower City gangs. I even got the scoop on that Bounty Hunter Calo Nord.
Tell me about Davik. I've heard a little bit about him, but I'd like to get your opinion.
Davik's part of the Intergalactic Crime Syndicate, but I guess everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But I hear he's got a new ship for his smuggling operations.
Oh?
The Ebon Hawk. I don't know much about space travel, but I hear that ship's fast enough to break the Sith blockade. Of course, this is all just secondhand rumor.
Where would he keep it, do you know?
If Davik does have a ship, he's got it locked up in his estate. Nobody gets in there, except the people working for Davik and the Exchange.
Good line of questioning, Karth. That's exactly what Telemachus was thinking. How the hell are they going to get their hands on that ship? Because that, in combination with the launch codes, is going to be how we get off this planet. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the lower city gangs? We've dealt with the Volkers, and they don't seem very hospitable.
There's only two gangs worth worrying about here in the lower city. The Black Volkers and the Hidden Becks. Sometimes Zalbar and I hang out at the Beck base. The Becks are led by Gadden Beck. He's a good guy. Lost his sight in a swoop bike accident a few years ago, but even blind, he's a great leader. Not like that traitor Brezhik. Before he took over the Volkers, he was a Hidden Beck. Gadden considered that ungrateful space slug his adopted son.
Well, why did Brezhik leave the Hidden Becks?
When Gadden went blind, everyone figured he'd step down and appoint Brezhik in his place. But Gadden figured Brezhik wasn't ready yet. He wanted him to wait a few years. But Brezhik was too impatient. He left to join the Volkers, and ever since, he's been waging a war to wipe Gadden and his Becks from the face of Terrace. This gang war in the lower city is totally the Volkers' fault. They're the ones killing everything that moves out on the streets. It's like they've gone insane.
Hey, you don't gotta convince me. Can you tell me anything about Calo Nord, though? We bumped into him when he came in here, and he almost blew our head off just for a compliment.
Calo Nord's one of the most famous bounty hunters in the galaxy. He's killed more people than the Iridian Plague. I've seen him kill people just for trying to talk to him. He hangs around Zach's bounty office, but I don't think he's looking for work there. All the postings there are small time, way beneath a bounty hunter of his caliber. I figure Calo's been hired by Davik to do a special job for the exchange. I'd wager 1,000 credits that as soon as the quarantine ends, he'll be getting off this rock.
I wonder what that job is. In any case, we have to be going now. Thank you very much for being so kind to answer our questions. It's rare to find somebody on this planet who would.
You going? Yeah, this dive is pretty boring. No action around here. Come on, Big Z, let's go.
But I haven't finished eating.
Can't you think about something besides your stomach for 5 minutes? Come on. We'll go see if there's anything good to eat at the Beck base.
Experience points received, 60. So that is Mission and Zalbar. We'll be seeing them again pretty soon.